Hey guys, Iori from Beyond the Summit here with another interview at the International 4. We're here in the hotel room of the High Ground boys. High Ground TV, we've got Maut on our left and WhatIsHip on our right. Fellas, three-way interview. How you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. You know, you guys just kind of came up here and invaded our room, so honestly, we're feeling pretty good. We kind of just finished the event not too long ago. Greg still, I think, has some analysis to do, but for the most part, we're having a fantastic time, and just kind of, it's vacation now for us, so.
Yeah, well, vacation for you and Cuddle Guy. You mentioned, Greg, you're still doing some analysis. How's that working out for you?
It's been good. You know, this is also my first through in a bedroom that's not in the bed, so it's kind of a nice, I guess it's a nice change.
Awesome. Glad to hear it, Gregor. So talk to us about the Analyst Panel. Cuddle Guy and Maut were the casting duo, so you were kind of off on your own. Yeah. Talk to us about that whole thing. You were also one of the last people to get invited, so how was that whole experience?
Like my roller coaster of emotions?
Yes.
I can definitely say I had a roller coaster of emotions. When people started getting invited, I thought there was a chance that maybe some of us would get invited, like a caster duo or something. And when Maut and Cuddle Guy got invited, obviously I was really happy because, you know, it means that we did something, which is cool.
Happy for your coworkers. Yeah. There was no jealousy there. There were no harsh words.
No jealousy. I was super emo, but there was definitely no jealousy. Like I'm not jealous. Like I'm happy for them, but I was super emo.
Like for me, like when the invites came out and like there were people like Lysander and everyone get invited, and I thought like that was going to be it for some reason. I was like, oh, no one else is like going to get invited. But then it started coming through, and then I realized like they were going to do it like days after as well. So I'm just like, there's still a shot that like people like Greg could get invited. But for me, I was just like, man, I really want to go to this thing. So it was a nice feeling, obviously, but.
Yeah, and the way it was announced was confusing because there were a lot of people that were invited but didn't say anything. Lumi waited a while, Gods waited a while, so it was kind of hard to tell who was going to be invited and what the timeline was going to be like. Cuddle Guy Maude, is that a pretty... If you guys had to pick, there's three of you at High Ground, is that your go-to duo? Would you have preferred to be like Maut and Greg and have Cuddle Guy on the desk if you guys could have picked?
I think all of us are okay with all of the roles. All of us are okay with casting with each other. I mean, we all bring different dynamics, but we're all very comfortable with casting with each other, and we've done it so often. Like, you know, you'll see back when we did the ADL, we did a lot of Cuddle Guy Maude, but we also did Cuddle Guy Greg, and then we did me and Greg. So, like, that dynamic, like, it's really cool for all of us to be able to cast together. And we even, like, something we haven't really done is a tri-cast between the three of us, and I feel like we could be pretty good at that as well. So, I mean, yeah, I like casting with everybody, essentially. So,
well, and that's one of the things that's interesting about your dynamic. You guys are known for being kind of the North America boys. That's where you really where you guys specialize. You guys have done, was it ADL the first season? Was that your first big contract as an organization?
Well, we did, season 1 was just Maut, and then season 2 was with us entirely. So that was like our first formal thing that we did.
And what do you guys have lined up looking forward after TI?
We have the Dota 2 Canada Cup is coming up in an unconfirmed month. They're not really exactly sure. They had some shenanigans with the courier, which is a pretty integral part of their business model, but that's in the game now. Well, not in the game, but going to be in the game. It's been okayed to be attached to the ticket still, so we're doing that, and then we have another tournament coming up in the fall as well that's not announced yet.
Very cool. So I want to talk more about the dynamic between you guys, because as you mentioned, there isn't really a clear ex-pro player analysis. You all can sort of play the host and do the play-by-play, and you all have a baseline of knowledge to also do the... God damn it, Craig. God damn it. That baseline of analytical. I mean, is that a problem for you guys? You often wish you had like a pro player that's with you, or how's...
No, I don't think so. I think, honestly, most of us feel comfortable in our analysis in terms of the game. Like, we don't like sugarcoat it. We're not the best of the game. We're not even really like that high in terms of MMR, but we know enough about the game to make, I think, accurate calls. Whereas that might not have been the case for, I'd say, Greg and I like a year ago. Like, I think our analysis has gotten a lot better. I think a lot of that comes down to just playing the game more and being involved in more just casts as well. So I think Greg feels the same.
Yeah. Well, and you guys also have access to people like Ryu Borez comes to mind. He's sort of shown that he can work well on a panel. Of course, he's an ex-pro player, so he's still kind of a pro player, just off a team, semi-pro. I don't know. So I mean, he's in that niche of a top-level in-house kind of a player who's been around for a while. Have you guys ever thought about like reaching out to one of those guys and trying to pull someone on board that is, you know, has more of an analytical background?
It's definitely possible in the future.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a lot, and I mean, like Maut was saying, I think we're happy kind of with where analysis is going. It's obviously still not as good as people who were pro players, but considering someone like that is definitely something we've talked about quite a bit, and is a strong possibility for future tournaments, I think.
So, talk to us a little bit about this TI experience. What is your account of? I know you were at least at TI3. Were you?
Yeah, we were both at TI3. Greg was at TI2. So we
just as spectators, though, right?
Well, yes.
Press.
He was
Okay.
press. I was a spectator. I technically had a media pass, and I was helping with interviews for NA Dota, but I didn't actually really do any of the interviews. I mean,
awesome, dude.
I mean, listen, I was helping out, man.
Okay.
I had the camera in my hand. I was doing stuff.
I had a camera, guys. It's okay. I didn't really do much with it, but I was equipped.
No, I did some of the interviews, in terms of, there were a lot of busted ads videos, which, by the way, you should search for that on YouTube. They're hilarious. They're really funny. From TI3, we get a lot of famous people, so you should definitely look those up.
So it's your first event working. How is that? I mean, is it amazing actually being part of the panel, being part of the experience? Is it everything? I'm sure this is, as a caster who wasn't invited, it's something we all aspire to. Is this everything you had hoped for and more?
Honestly, it pretty much is. I mean, we're happy to just get invited and to be able to work the event and to be able to talk with such great people. Like, when we get here, it's just kind of there's butterflies in your stomach. It's like you're scared, but at the same time, you're also excited. And, eventually that excitement comes through, and then you start casting, and boom, it's like that. But now we don't have to work anymore, and we just chill. So
awesome.
Yeah. I would say it's been really good. I liked it a lot. Mm-hmm. Doing a panel is something I've never really done before.
Yeah. Well, you did it a little bit at the qualifier.
Qualifiers, yeah. So I've done it a little bit, but it's much different than casting. Mm-hmm. Being on camera the whole time, it's actually way more tiring than I thought it was going to be. It was more stressful in a lot of ways, I felt, than casting. But I did really like it. It was fun. I get to work with people I've never worked with before, like James. Yeah. And, I got lured into a dick joke. So I think that's a rite of passage if you work.
Can you elaborate on said dick joke for us?
So yesterday we were talking about Clockwork. And he started talking about Clockwork's cogs. Mm-hmm. But when James says it, it sounds like cocks.
Cogs. Yeah.
He's like cocks, and it sounds like cocks. And I was like, well, no one really likes running into cogs. And then he was like, do you like cogs, Cheever? And I just I didn't get it for a second, because I was like, it didn't process. Yeah. But Tuga just got no fucking boundaries, man. He's a badass.
He is definitely badass.
Boundaries. Yeah. And it's part of his charm, I think.
Yeah, well, that's good. In terms of two good grills, that's not too bad. I guess he didn't land you with too many other zingers, huh?
Not really. We were warming up to each other. Yeah. I suspect we'll spend the night later, so.
Very cool. So aside from that, do you guys have any big plans for the rest of the event? Looking forward to Key Arena. Can we expect anything out of old High Ground TV there?
I think we have some more work planned. I think a lot of us, I mean, the three of us just want to get something going, because we feel like we actually want to do work while we're here. As fun as a week-long vacation sounds, I mean, we want to be able to do maybe vlogs, maybe some more interviews, stuff like that.
Well, it's a unique opportunity. It's not very often you have this level of Dota talent in one place with nothing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, you're exactly right. I mean, if we're not getting interviews with people say EG players or any players for that matter, it's just we're wasting a precious opportunity essentially. So yeah. I'd rather just get it done and interview some people.
I think we have plans to do definitely some interviews. We did a vlog, but we ran into some technical issues.
That's on you, man. You freaking ruined it, dude.
It's definitely on me. We had to record it several times. And when it got rendered, it didn't have sound for some reason, and then I kind of just gave up.
Well, I see you rented some equipment back there. You've got whatever that is.
Yeah, I rented a camera body for just the group stages, and then someone actually flew in today that has their own equipment that's going to be working with us. So.
Oh, cool.
Then I'll send it back, and it's nice to just have good equipment though when I actually do want to do stuff, because it's annoying. I don't know, it's annoying working with shit equipment.
Yeah, that's for sure. We're getting close to the end here, boys, but I do want to bring up Cuddle Guy. Of course, he was casting with you, as we mentioned earlier. How's he been working out? You guys have worked together a little bit longer, and he's still sort of a newcomer to the scene. I don't know if it's fair to call him an up-and-coming caster anymore now that he's casted at TI4, but what's the dynamic there? Have you guys had any issues, the branding-wise, with a caster named Cuddle Guy?
No, not... I mean, our brand identity is it's... I mean, it's not clowny. It's just we're... we call ourselves a homegrown organization, because we all started from basically like the trenches and worked our ways up from there. You know, NEL was Cuddle Guy's first thing. Me and Maut started before that was even like a thing. But we've all casted that kind of thing, and we don't really. I mean, we're professional when we have to be, but we're much more relaxed. I think like a lot of the things that I've read about like me and Maut is it's just like we're two friends that cast together. So and I think it feels like that too.
Yeah.
It's that that's pretty much two friends that like watching Dota. But as far as Cuddle Guy goes, I mean, for somebody to get in the scene and get to where he is so quickly is just it tells you of his talent. So it's always a pleasure listening to him and casting with him. So, you know, now that the event's over, maybe we get to hang out more. I mean, we've already been hanging out a lot as friends together. So, you know.
Well, maybe this event will lead to some more contracts. I mean, as a homegrown group, you sometimes don't have a lot to offer to the bigger tournament organizers, but now you guys you're Valve talent. You are hand-selected to cast at the exclusive TI4. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I think that's definitely part of the attraction to coming to an event like this is once you're a talent here, you're kind of established. Mm-hmm. You know, people will start contacting you for things like that, but, you know, like Maut was saying, Cuddle Guy, even though he's newer to casting, he's been working really hard.
He's a natural, too.
I mean, he has other, like, talent from doing the not Broadway, but, you know, theater. Mm-hmm. So he's very experienced in that kind of thing. And honestly, it's like something that helps me and Maut being exposed to as well. Like, I don't have that experience. So
yeah, we're both just kind of guys that randomly just started talking about Dota, whereas he's someone that's actually professionally trained, at least in the theatrical arts. So
knows how to talk to a camera and whatnot, and just be an entertainer in general.
Yeah, and it's you know, he's a lot different, I think, than most of the other casters, and I like it. So I think we all work well together. Maut kind of like talked about it before, but we don't really care. Like if it's us three, two of us can cast anything, and that's good. It's part of our thing.
Sharing is caring, boys. I'm glad to hear it. That's good. Well, that's some more information about how High Ground TV, guys. We're going to do some plugs here. It is highground.tv, and I think all the social media follows suit. So any sponsor shout-outs or anything you guys need to go for here?
I don't think we don't have those.
Negative there?
We
all
don't
right.
have those.
Sponsors are
So
overrated.
any fun shout-outs, any call-outs? Steal something from Hotbit here? Anything?
I've shout out to Fogged. Okay. So he told me he was going to give me a shout out in another interview, so I have to, I have to reciprocate. And who do we want to call out?
It's always Charlie, man.
Always Charlie.
Maybe Artur too.
Maybe Artur.
Artur, we had, yeah.
Artur.
It's just Charlie. We like Charlie, but fuck Charlie.
Let me shout out. Who am I shouting out here? Shout outs to all the American teams except for Artur. Shout out to Mason specifically. Shout out to NA Dota. I'm not wearing the shirt today, unfortunately.
American Eagle is pretty American, though, so at least you're almost there.
Yeah. Shout out to Spitwad.
I'm giving a lot of shout outs.
Shout out to my mom. All right, I'm good. That's it.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for another interview here at the International Four. We'll have plenty more content coming your way. This is Iori signing off for now.